What is up, everyone? Cold Case Project back again, and haven't recorded one of these in quite some time, so excited to start recording my own content as well as the missing person cases you see each and every day or every other day on my channel. Now today we're going to be covering the 10 most heinous black serial killers in the United States. So all other continents are not covered in here. This is also an opinion. Alright, this is an opinion. So if you've got your own top 10, top 5 that you'd like to leave in my comment section down below, feel free to do that. Alright, working on a women's list as well as a serial killer overall list too. So have a bunch of content coming out in the next coming weeks, so please feel free to check it out. You enjoy the content we're sharing on this channel, drop me a like, drop me a subscribe, as I try to get stuff out to you as much as I can, and I want to try to do at least one live video like such each and every week. So once again, thank you all so much for tuning in. Take care. From a man who murdered a pregnant woman to the man who tried to become the 21st century Zodiac killer, but it ended up backfiring on him. We provide you with a top 10 black serial killers list who span their killing sprees for 2 centuries, with most of them going unnoticed or apprehended for almost 2 decades. Was it sheer luck? If you enjoy my content, make sure to like and subscribe, as I publish both missing persons cases, hand-picked cases, and other unsolved mysteries. Henry Louis Wallace, dubbed as the Taco Bell Strangler. Henry Louis Wallace, who once worked as a Taco Bell manager, was born on the 4th of 1965. As a young boy, he was full of potential, as he was once a cheerleader, student council member, and later joined the U.S. Navy in 1985. Before he was honorably discharged from the U.S. Navy in 1992, he'd become a drug addict and had engaged in a number of felonies, including burglaries. Upon his arrest on March 13, 1994, Henry Louis confessed to having killed 10 black women, with the youngest being 18 years old and the oldest being 35 years old. Chester Turner, also known as the South Side Slayer. Chester Dwayne Turner was born in Warren, Arkansas on November 6, 1966. His murder spree was between 1987 and 1998. Out of the 10 women he murdered, one of them was 6 months pregnant. In June of 2014, he was convicted for 4 more murder charges, binging his grand murder total to 15 victims. His youngest victim, still a fetus, whom law enforcers named Baby Washington, and his oldest victim was 45. DC Snipers. For 3 weeks in October of 2002, a murder spree carried out by the DC Snipers, John Allen Muhammad, then 44, and Lee Boyd Malvo, then 17, saw the death of 10 people and several others severely injured. They used Bushmaster rifles to conduct their killings. After divorcing his wife, John Allen Muhammad devised a plan to extort the local law enforcement to give him money in order to stop the killings. He was going to use his hard-earned money to flee to Canada with Malvo after kidnapping his 3 kids. Both received the death penalty, with Muhammad being executed November 10, 2009. Malvo is currently serving multiple life sentences. Lonnie Franklin, also known as the Grim Sleeper. Lonnie Franklin was born on August 30, 1952 in Los Angeles, California. His horrific killing span lasted 25 years before he was apprehended in July of 2010. It's believed that he was responsible for the deaths of at least 10 to 25 women. His gruesome murders were so appalling to the extent that Nick Broomfield, an English documentary director, made a film about him known as Tales of the Grim Sleeper. Coral Watts, nicknamed the Sunday Morning Slasher. As a child, Coral Watts, born as Carl Eugene Watts, took great pleasure in hunting and skinning rabbits. Coral Watts died from prostate cancer on September 21st, 2007. He had been sentenced to 60 years in prison without the possibility of parole. It's reported that Watts once stated that at the age of 12, he'd already started fantasizing about the idea of killing young girls and women. Between 1974 and 1982, Coral had stabbed, slashed, strangulated, drowned, and bludgeoned at least 24 to 100 plus women. His victims were women aged between 14 and 44 years old. Maury Travis, dubbed as the Streetwalker Strangler. Born on October 25, 1965, Maury Troy Travis went on a killing spree between 2000 and 2002 that saw the death of at least 12 women who were sex workers. He would lure his victims to his home, promising them money and drugs. Upon arrival, he would strangle them and dispose of their bodies throughout both the St. Louis and East St. Louis areas. Maury Travis made the mistake of sending a map to the police to show them where they would find his victims' bodies, which led to his arrest on June the 7th of 2002. On June 10, 2002, he committed suicide by hanging himself in St. Louis County Jail. Derrick Todd Lee, also known as the Baton Rouge serial killer. This Louisiana-born serial killer died at the age of 57 due to a heart-related condition on January the 21st of 2016. He was not only a known serial killer, but also an elusive rapist, a rogue robber, notorious woman stalker. Before his apprehension on May the 27th of 2003, Derrick Todd Lee had murdered at least 7 women in a span of 11 years. Wayne Williams, also known as the Atlanta Child Murderer, also known as the Atlanta Boogeyman. Wayne Williams is infamously known for his homicidal activities in Atlanta between 1979 and 1981. After being prosecuted for 2 counts of murder, the 63-year-old serial killer is currently serving a life sentence at Telfair State Prison, Helena, Georgia. Many believe that he might also be responsible for at least 24 murders that were committed in Atlanta during the years he was active. His next parole hearing has been set to be in November of 2027. Alton Coleman. Alton Coleman, who was born on November 6, 1955, together with his girlfriend Deborah Brown, killed at least 8 people, with their youngest victim being 7-year-old Tamika Turks, and their oldest victim being a 75-year-old man named Eugene. The duo committed their gruesome murders between May and July in 1984, before they were arrested on July the 20th of 1984. Alton Coleman was executed through lethal injection on May the 26th of 2002, while reciting Psalms 23. Brown, on the other hand, had her death sentence reduced to a life sentence in 1991 on the basis that her master-slave relationship with Coleman and low IQ level substantially influenced her actions. And at number 1, to probably no surprise, we have Sam Little, also known as the Choke and Stroke Killer. Sentenced to life in prison without parole in 2014, Little, who was born Samuel McDowell, he was raised by his grandmother. It's believed that his mother gave birth to him while she was still in jail. His homicides were between 1970 and 2005. At least 93 women from 19 different states were killed by Little before he was apprehended in 2012. One of the chilling statements he made during an interview with the New York Times was, and I quote, "I never killed no senators or governors or fancy New York journalists. Nothing like that. I stayed in the ghettos." So there you have it, everyone. That is my top 10 black serial killer list. Anyone I forgot? Anyone I left out? Obviously, if you run through the plethora of videos you can find on YouTube, you can find information on many of these guys and much more. Now, for those of you who've been tuning into my content for quite some time, you probably will remember one thing is I like to do to pay respect to the victims is holding a moment of silence to remember these victims, because at the end of the day, we're here talking about the killers, while in total, these men that were men, monsters, whatever you want to call them, ended the lives of over 150 women that we're talking about today. So, as we hold a brief moment of silence, I do want to show you some photographs of the victims that we're going to close out with today. Once again, I want to thank you all for tuning into my channel. Thanks again, and let's respect the victims with this moment of silence, and you have a wonderful rest of your afternoon. Take care.